Next we have Kirti, who's going to talk about her grandparents. Kirti, grandparents.
So there's a Bollywood film that I like. I know Bollywood and me were so together. And the song that I love from that film goes, Baatein bhul jati hai, yadein yaad aati hai. I know in the audience today we have lots of good singers, and I would ask you to sing along with me. Raise your hands if you would like to sing the middle of the song. Oh yes, somebody is raising his hands. We've got one volunteer. So the song is really great. So the line translates to Baatein bhul jati hai. We forget the words. Yadein yaad aati hai. But what we remember are the memories. So when we touch on a topic like grandparents, it's the memories that are the importance of what we remember and the experiences that we've created with them. And without that, there are no memories. So every sort of encounter that I've had with my grandparents, every time that I've spent with them, has led to memories being formed. So I remember when I was a short girl, I know that's hard to sort of comprehend because of my height, but when I was this height, I remember my grandparents taking me to school, picking me up from school to take me home. I remember them taking me to the shops to buy me the white Milky buttons and the white Milky bar, or maybe it was me forcing them into the shops. I can't remember which way round it was, but we were at the shops and we were getting the chocolates. I also remember my grandma actually taking a coconut, and she would break this coconut in half. She would take the shell off, and she would leave that coconut on the radiator in my room to dry. It would be a 3 to 4 days process, so once the coconut is dry, she would actually serve it to me with hakar, or should we say sakar, and almonds. And that was my daily snack that I used to look forward to when I used to come back from school. And every day there would be a coconut ready for me to eat. My mom, my grandma, she also participated in the Hindu marathon. And in an age group, so this was like, the Hindu marathon was a very popular thing here in the UK. And she actually, in her age group, came third, which I thought was quite amazing. A very fit lady. My granddad, my papa, he used to spend time with us, and this is what I mean. Like, it's the experiences that you have that create the memories. You know, we had a TV, we had a chunky TV in the living room, and there wasn't no Sky, there was no Virgin Media, there weren't no smartphones. So it was spending time with my papa. So we would be in the room and we were doing card tricks, and he would call me Sham. I'm not sure where that nickname came from, but for him I was Sham. And he would be like, Sham, come into my room, and he would do these different card tricks, and I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. Like, how did you do that, papa? And then he'd be like, well, let me show you one more, and I'm sure all of you know this one. I still don't know how he did it, but you know, with the coin, and he'd be like, oh, I've got nothing in my hand. Oh, there's a £1 coin. Like, wow, where did that £1 coin come from? Like, if I could learn to do that, I would be a millionaire. So it's just amazing how just, spending time, and that's how you remember all of these things. Now, there's one incident that I'll never forget. I remember it like it was yesterday, like the overall gist of the story. So my grandparents were due to fly to India. The day before, they were about to fly out. In the Vicaria household, everything was ready, the suitcases were packed, and I'm sure we have all got into arguments with our parents about, Mom, why do we need to take 100 suitcases to India? Like, why is it packed with so many different things? So my grandparents were the same. They'd packed the suitcases, everything was ready, it was in the living room. It was even roped up in case the suitcase broke. And we hit about midday, and we realized that something's missing. Something important has gone missing, and that is the passports. The passports are nowhere to be found. So now there's a little bit of panic, like, and we can't find the passport. So I join in the search. I'm like, well, looking in the most obvious places, like find the passports, find the passports. And now approaches early evening. I've been looking, and I'm a young child, to try and remember, this young kid, and now I'm like tired, so I just sit back on the sofa. And I think the urgency is now raising in our household to find the passports. And my papa seeing me sitting there, maybe being lazy, it's probably not helping. So he raises the stakes and he says, whoever finds the passports, I'll give them £10. And I was like, whoa, £10. At that time, that's probably equivalent to like £100 in your pocket. So if I was feeling tired, suddenly I was filled with energy again. I was looking in the cupboards, under the bed, on the desk table where they'd claimed they'd placed them. Still couldn't find the passports. We all went to sleep that night, knowing that my ma and papa were not going to be sitting on that plane the next day. The next day comes, and me and my siblings were in the garden, and we're playing with the ball. So it's a small garden, so we're playing with the ball, and the ball goes over to the next door neighbour's garden. Now at that time, rules and regulations weren't that strict. You could comfortably just jump into your next door neighbour's garden and do whatever you need to do and come back. And so we had this brick wall, which would break up the two gardens, chunky, grey, hefty bricks. So I just jumped onto the brick. Now there's a gap between the bricks and the next neighbour's shed. In that gap, I look and I see something. I see two things. It's the size of my palm, it's rectangular, and you guessed it, the passports were there. We still don't know today how they ended up from their bedroom, through the garden, into that area. I have a feeling it might have been my brother, because he always used to get upset when my grandparents used to go to India. And again, that's memories, that's experiences. Look, no one's ever, sort of admitted to doing that. And found the passports. So I'm now excited. I run into the house. I'm like, I found the passports. I found the passports. Obviously, I looked first as well. It's got my dad's picture. It's got my papa's picture. And then I cheekily even asked, can I have the $1 million prize? Do I get my £10? I think we all know what the answer to that was. But to end this talk, what I really want everyone to sort of remember and walk away with is, it's in spending time with people, what we're doing here today, that conversations happen, experiences are created, and lifelong memories are formed. It's in spending time with people that conversations happen, experiences are created, and lifelong memories are formed. Namaste.